My name is Trish Merelo. I'm one of the co-founders of the Natchez Trace Bridge Barrier Coalition, and I'm here to talk to you today on this International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. My story starts in 2016 when I lost my 17-year-old son, John, to suicide. He was in the middle of his senior year of high school. He was just a wonderful kid, but he also suffered from major depression. And he had been for years. And at the end of that first year of treatment, he decided enough was enough, and he took his life. He went to a bridge near us where we live. As I found out what a problem this bridge was, I started to think what could be done about it. And I ended up meeting, just by chance, another person who had lost someone. Aaron Elmer lost his sister at the bridge. And he also had been making phone calls and trying to find out what could be done about this. He and I joined ranks. We formed the Natchez Trace Bridge Barrier Coalition and started to think about what our next move was. A fortunate thing happened after that. Centerstone was sponsoring a presentation of a movie called The Ripple Effect. And it's a documentary starring Kevin Hines. Kevin Hines is one of the only people to survive a suicide attempt off the Golden Gate Bridge. And I spoke at the end from the audience and said, we also have our own bridge that's an issue here in the Nashville area. Luckily, there were some folks in that audience from Centerstone who took what we said as a call to action, and things started to move pretty nicely from there. So what's been done so far? We came into being in 2018. Since that time, call boxes did go in from the National Park Service. Our end game remains some kind of a barrier, because at the end of the day, that's what it takes, is a physical obstruction to prevent people from jumping. As far as resources that are helpful, there is something about being among people who have gone through the same type of loss. When you meet folks who have lost someone to suicide, whether it's a parent, a child, a spouse, a brother, a sister, there is an immediate bond there. When you lose someone, in our case, losing a child, you can't help but feel different than for the rest of your life. When you're with folks who have lost someone akin to yours in this manner, that feeling goes away. Whether you've met through national organizations or local organizations, it's just good to have those people around. Get together once in a while, because it's a salve. You know, it really is. It's good for the soul. I'm a big believer in turning your grief into action, as they say. You know, if you're home and you're grieving and you don't want to be mired in the suicide prevention world, you can do other things. If your loved one loved gardening, help out with a public garden. If your loved one was into art, volunteer as a docent, just something in their honor, some kind of good to give back. Coping with suicide loss around the holidays is particularly tough. Such a joyful time, such a family-oriented time. I guess just we're all different, and grieving is so unique. You just do what you feel you want to do. At the end of the day, it's just another day. So if you want to sit it out, it's okay. As far as a message of hope for suicide survivors, you are forever changed because of this, but you are about to see so much good come from people that because of that, you will also be changed. When you go through something like this, you're showing your vulnerability, and your friends, your family, neighbors, strangers in stores see you as a soft place to rest their head in a way, and they are comfortable being vulnerable to you. There's something about going through this that deepens connections with people, and that is something pretty profound that comes from this.